Guys, so well into November now, November the 11th, Remembrance Day, Armistice Day, whatever you want to call it. Good time to remember those that have passed already, remember those that served. We've all had people that have been affected by war in some way or another, haven't we? How did the last week treat you? It was a bit intense for me, but we shall see. So, anyway, I've picked the Earth Magic Oracle cards today. I haven't had these in a little while, so let's see what we are going to be given for the collective this week. Excuse the box falling off the edge of the table there. Okay, so no upside down ones this week. I literally went through and checked last week's, and the card that I pulled that was upside down was the only upside down card of the entire deck. How bizarre was that? Okay, so the first card is Milky Way Perspective. So when this card comes out in a reading, I generally say it's because you're caught in a situation that you can't see your way out of, but that's because you're not looking at effectively the bigger picture. You're not seeing everything for what it is, and perhaps this is the time where you need to ask somebody for their perspective, and somebody who is outside of the situation. Just give them the facts and say, so what would you do? And listen to what is being said, because the amount of times that we are in our own heads and we're saying yes but, and that's never the case. Or the other way of looking at it, again, a different perspective. So the other way of looking at it would be, if your best friend came to you and said this, or a close friend came to you and said this, what advice would you give them? And can you live by that advice? Now relate that advice to your own life, to whatever it is that is going on in your life at the minute. And it's swirling, it's a vortex. Okay, yeah, we get that. Don't forget, at the moment though, we're about to, or I think we already have entered the shadow phase for Mercury's last retrograde of the year. So things are going to start getting a little bit dicey with things like communication, technology, that sort of thing. I mean, you know, everybody I know this, because literally had the car just go bleh. So it is one of those, be aware that energetically and astrologically there is a lot going on at the moment. Because of that, you will pick up on it. We are energetic beings. We do pick up on these things, whether we realise it or not. So being able to take that little step back to give you the perspective, that will help. By the way, we are probably around about there, somewhere in that galaxy. So, second card is Wake Up Call Tsunami. When you get these two cards together, I often say that for those of you who do the Tower, this is for the Tarot, sorry, this is your Tower card, this is your Death card. Okay, so things are changing this week. You are not going to be able to stop them. It's just it is a total act of God, act of the universe, whatever. There is things that are going on that you are not going to be able to change. These things are in motion, and do you know what? This is going to be your, okay, so what do you actually want? So this week, I think we've got to be very, very careful where our thoughts are, where everything is lying, what sort of thing we're going to be manifesting. Don't forget that where your thoughts go is where intention goes, something flows. I can't remember the saying, but very, very carefully with your thoughts, because obviously, like I said, we're in the pre-shadow phase for Mercury going into retrograde. So a lot of misunderstandings going on this week, perhaps with the perspective. You've got a wake-up call here going on. So things, you know, times they are changing. There is nothing you can do about this. You will be a totally different person by the end of this week than you are at the beginning. And then we have winter solstice reflection. So obviously we've passed Samhain, that one's gone now. So the next big thing in the calendar is the winter solstice. And we've got, what, 5 weeks, 6 weeks until then. Perhaps take that time to reflect on everything that's happened in the last year. Depends what calendar you follow as to when you think your new year is. For me, my new year is Samhain, but that's just me. Okay, so some people follow the calendar year, some people follow the solstices, some people follow the equinoxes. It depends what works for you. Okay, I'm not here to cast judgment or aspersions or anything like that. This one is saying, right, so you've looked at it from a different perspective, or you've asked for a different perspective, and perhaps that perspective gives you the wake-up call. Perhaps that change in direction is going to be your literally shake it off card, get rid of it, yeet it out the window kind of thing, that you really don't need this in your life at the moment. It is holding you back, it is doing you no favors whatsoever. And I'm almost getting a sort of medical sense with it, so that there is something going on perhaps with yourself medically, or even mentally or emotionally, that's going to cause some sort of break, whether it's a physical one or not. And that's going to be your wake-up call. I don't think it's going to be quite as serious as some of them could be, but you never know. So, reflection. So, time to take it quiet, time to sit back, time to relax, time to chill. Time to find yourself is what I'm being told here. Time to find the true you. For me, time of reflection is like, that's the Hermit card. So effectively we've got the Tower, a Death, and Hermit. There's a lot going on energetically at the moment. So because you've got the Hermit card here, the reflection, it is about going inward. It's about removing the triggers, or seeing what the triggers are and working to turn them around so they don't trigger you anymore, which essentially is the essence of shadow work. So perhaps in this shadow time of the year, this dark time of the year, as we turn towards the winter solstice, we are being told to work on ourselves. I get the feeling that, although I say it is a weekly forecast, I get the feeling this is going to be a bit more sort of long term than that. And it just has that sort of feeling to it of, yeah, all right, so you've got your wake-up call, which is your sudden, it's just shake you quickly to see what, falls off, or giving your head that quick shake to sort out who you are, kind of thing. But it's going to take time to adjust. All right, so you got the winter solstice here, you've got the dead time of the year, effectively just before it switches to Beltane. So it is one of those times of year whereby we are asked to do quiet contemplation. We are asked to go within. We are asked to do the shadow work that we have probably been neglecting, because life gets in the way, doesn't it? Life, family, job, it all gets in the way. So this one is all about finding your true you, really finding out who you are. And it's all because of these two cards here. So like I say, you've got your perspective, you've got your wake-up call, so you've got the Tower and Death, and here you have your Hermit card. This is the time to go within. This is the time to synchronize your data, is what I'm being told. There's a very technical way of saying it, but you need to assimilate everything that's happened in the last probably year, but definitely in the last couple of months have been very, very full on and very, very hectic. So this is the card that's going, okay, so how has this changed you as a person? Are you the same person now that you were when all of this started? And I can tell you unequivocally, no, you're not. Okay, you are not the same person energetically today that you were yesterday, and you won't be the same person again tomorrow. There is no time like the present. And this card is making you see that. This card is turning around and saying, right, so this is your wake-up call. This is you now having to stop and take stock. Okay, so find out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and what you can do about it. See the reflection card? It's a little bit, you know, it's not 100%, but obviously its influence is clouded by judgments, by excuse me, experiences, things like that. So we need to take those out of the picture and look at ourselves, look at what we are in the picture. Okay guys, that's all I'm getting for now. Apologies again for the late posting, but I will see you again next week. Bye for now.